This is Miss Lizzie, and I want to welcome you to the Queen Lizzie Podcast. Together, we will go through the history of Rosewood, Florida, and watch as the once prosperous town rises out of the bloodshed, fire, and ash to reveal the people, the memory, and the legacy of Rosewood. Watch every Thursday on Facebook and YouTube, or listen to our story on Apple or Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Hello, everybody. I am Lizzie Robinson Jenkins, representing not only the Rosewood Foundation, but the personal testimonies and history of cherished friends and family. You are now watching the Queen Lizzie Podcast. Today, we are talking with Pat Dooley, the Gainesville only Pat Dooley, and I am so honored to have you on my podcast.
My pleasure. My pleasure. I see you in here right before my podcast, and I always go, I wonder what they're talking about. So today, I get to find out.
Yes, you're going to find out that we are talking about Rosewood and other interesting facts. Okay.
Yeah, the Rosewood thing is should be important to everybody, and I know that your birthday's coming up,
Yes.
celebration, and that sold out already, from
Yes.
what I've been told. So should be important to everybody who lives in this anywhere in this area. It should be important to everybody.
Absolutely, and you played an outstanding part in helping us promote the birthday. That's why we sold out, because your input was...
not because of me. It's probably because of HBC. HBC's like, you better get them. All right.
But anyway, I thank you very much. That was awesome. And if you all haven't heard and would like to hear his podcast, it's on his podcast, it's on my podcast, my Facebook, go to Lizzie Robinson Jenkins and you will hear what he has to say. I was really surprised and appreciative. Very much. And I know that's why we sold out.
Well,
thank
my
you.
pleasure, believe me.
Okay. And
I really believe in the cause. I believe in
Yeah.
you too, Lizzie,
Yes.
but I believe in the cause.
well, I am the cause, a part of the cause, yes. And my cause...
But you didn't cause it.
No. Well, no, but we're trying to resolve it so that it will not
Exactly.
repeat
Exactly.
itself.
Yes,
Again.
exactly.
And that's what my mom said. History is so important. Her sister was a teacher in Rosewood and suffered the agony of defeat, was involved, brutally attacked, and told only my mother about what happened to her because she was too embarrassed to
Yeah,
share it with her,
yeah.
her parents. So she told Mom, and Mom told me. In fact, Mom told all 4 children. For some reason, I listened. My sister didn't want to hear what happened. My brothers were not interested. And today it's the same way. My nieces and nephews, they don't talk about Rosewood. And when I try to start a conversation with them about Rosewood, they said, Auntie, we don't want to hear it. It's too painful.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I get that too. I mean, like it would be like if you wanted to talk about the Holocaust or talk about anything that's just a terrible tragedy, and some people want to hear more about it and be educated by it, and some people go, I don't want to relive that pain.
Yes.
And that's the hard part of dealing with something like that. Yeah.
It is, and it's hard for me.
Yeah.
I don't want
Absolutely.
to talk about it.
No.
I don't want to relive
Painful
it.
for you to talk
It's
about.
painful for me to talk about, and usually I go home, get in bed, fetal position, and decompress. It is painful, but Mom said keep it present for the next generation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I believe that about a lot of things, that we need to make sure that there aren't people out there that think that Hitler never happened, or that that World War I never happened, or there's people that are, especially millennials, who just think that the world started in 1990. And it didn't.
I know.
Florida football was not good for a long time, and then it got good, and now it's not
Yes.
good again. But
It's going to get better.
It got better the other night.
Yes, it did.
No question about that.
Yes, it did. And it takes all of that to make us greater and, working together. And I understand you were born in
Gainesville?
and lived in
I was
St.
born in
Augustine.
Gainesville. When I was born in Gainesville, I was telling somebody this story the other day. My parents took me home as an infant to this little house on 39th, corner of 39th and 13th.
Okay.
Right? 13th was a dirt road at that time.
And I remember.
I mean, and so then when I was 10, though, we moved to St. Augustine,
Okay.
which I thought was going to be paradise, and it ended up being paradise, but it was a struggle. I had to deal with an incredible amount of racism there, not against me, of course, but St. Augustine's a weird town in that if you where the I guess it's the Matanzas Inlet crosses and where the Bridge of the Lions goes,
Yes.
everything to the right is beach town, party, everything, and everything to the left is totally different animal. And especially when you get far out to the west there. And I had no idea. So when I was, so we were the first class, integrated class at St. Augustine High School. This would have been 68.
Yes, about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we were the first integrated class, and we were the last freshman class too,
Is that
because
right?
they went from that point they went to junior highs.
Okay.
So we're there, and I'm in there my first day of school. I've been going to Catholic school for 8 years because my parents, and then they couldn't afford it, so we had to go to public school. So first day of class, there's a guy sitting behind me, and I noticed that he's got these rings on his shirt. And I said, "Hey, are those Olympic rings?" And he goes, No. It's just a brand." And he was an African-American young man. So I walk out of class, and all of a sudden there are like 6 rednecks surrounding me. And they are going to beat my butt because I talked to a black guy.
Are you serious?
Serious. And I'm like, I have no idea what's going on here. I'm like, what are you talking about? I had not experienced racism at any level. And now, luckily I got away and sprinted to the bus, got on the bus, and but then the Friday night, there was a football game, and I went to that. Same thing happened. I walk into the game, and all of a sudden these guys surround me. Luckily, I had a friend named Ricky Hernandez. Ricky, if you're listening, he's one of my favorite guys in the world. He was one of the best football players I ever saw, too. And I went and got him, and I said, "Man, I need some help here because there's 6 of them and there's 1 of me." And we went looking for him, and we couldn't. He wanted to find him because he was ready to. He was so mad about that. But the point of this whole long story is that, to experience racism in St. Augustine, and the stories about people throwing acid in the pool
Exactly.
and alligators in the
Yes.
pools when there were black people in there.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't think that St. Augustine would be that. It's like considered this incredible, lovely, great village, and everybody loves it there, and everybody vacations there. But it was that way.
It was. I went to college there, and like you said, the beaches, we were not allowed on the beaches. However, Butler, there was a Butler's Beach.
Butler Beach, yeah.
Yes, and he founded that beach. Now it's no longer Butler; it's a beach.
Yeah.
Everybody is welcome. But I remember protesting on Butler's Beach. That's the only beach we were allowed to. Had a wonderful time. You know what? I'm from Archer, and this may sound dumb, but it's true. I had never been to a beach in my life.
I don't think I had either. Yeah.
I hadn't seen a beach. Loved it. Went to college there from 57 to 61. And during that time, 1960, it was civil rights time. And there was a doctor from Jacksonville, dentist, that came in and said, "Hey, we are going to do a sit-in at the lunch counter." I had absolutely no idea what was going on. So the guys went the first 2 days, and then they involved some other girls. And my mother called. She was hearing everything on the radio back in Archer, and she said, "You better not get involved." Okay? And guess what my peers said? "Robinson, you are going tomorrow." It had been going on for about 3 to 4 days. So I went, and I sat in. I didn't sit in. I sat out. Just like you, I was scared to death.
Yeah.
Okay? And just fearful. If I had it to do all over again, I would do the same thing. My only regret, I was not jailed, and some of the girls were jailed. I was not jailed. If I had gotten my record, of being in jail, put in jail, that would be history for me. I would be proud to share it. But no, I was never jailed, but I experienced it.
It's funny you mentioned Butler Beach, because when we first went to St. Augustine, we were so excited about going to the beach. My dad drives down the beach. He goes, "Man, I can't. It's all these people, or they were even back then." And he goes and he finds this beach, and it's like empty. So we go out there and we're having a blast, and we're like, "Man, we found this great beach." And then we find out it's called Butler Beach. We go, "Oh, we have relatives named Butler. This is the best thing ever." So we tell people, and they go, "Oh, that's the colored beach." And I'm like, "What do you mean colored beach? What does that even mean? I didn't know what it meant." And I mean, it didn't stop us from going there. We still like going there, But after a while, you kind of go, "Well, maybe we should go where all the white people are," because But think about that. This is 1964. There was a colored beach in St. Augustine.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. And in 1965 or 57, even when I went to college, I could not attend the University of Florida. However, in the year 1965, we were allowed to extend our certificate there. But it was terrible. And I needed to extend, renew, like when I say extend, renew, in math. And there was this math teacher. I don't remember his name, the best math teacher. But that guy was our police, the professor. He would escort us out of the building every 2 days when class was over, because the guys didn't want us there. Just like they attacked you, okay, they did the same for us. Instead, in spite of all of that, we still got the renewal for the summer. But racism is something else. We have come a long ways. We are improving, but we got a long ways to go. It's too
absolutely.
much hate.
There is way too much hate in this world, but it doesn't mean I can't still hate FSU. That's still allowed, right?
Yes.
I don't mean hate.
I know what you
I root
mean.
against them. Yes.
Okay, that's okay. You have
That's
my
okay.
permission. You have my permission to root against them. But the game this past weekend, we've got to say how great it was.
Yeah, they played at the level I think we thought they would play at this year. And look, I know a lot of people are going to look at Kentucky and think, okay, big deal. They're 3-4 now, but that was a number 4 in the nation defense, ranked defense, and Florida just went up and down the field and hit all those big passes. And the defense played really well. Goal line stand. The defense really only gave up 13 points because one of them was a kick return. Okay. So I mean, maybe they're figuring it out on defense. Maybe Lagway is going to be the real deal right away instead of gradually. But obviously it gets very difficult. The next 4 games are Georgia, Texas, LSU, and Ole Miss. So they're all ranked in the top 20 in the country. So it's going to be tough.
We're going to beat every one of them.
Everyone.
That's
running
right.
the table. My
Yes.
wife said they're running the table, but I
Yes.
think she had had a margarita by that point.
Well, I haven't had one, and I'm sitting here. We are going to win. That was so good Saturday.
Yep.
And I didn't go. I like going to the games, but they get kind of different. Okay, people don't obey the law.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Lizzie, when I was a columnist at the Gainesville Sun, I went to every game for a long time. And that included road games, home games.
Really?
And it got to be a point where it got to be a lot for me. So once I retired, even though I'm still working and doing a lot of stuff, and I do go to the game, I want to go to the games, but I only go to about 1 or 2 a year because it's just
different.
Too much effort, and I've done it all.
Right.
It's like my wife and daughter wanted to go to the College World Series, and they did 2 years ago. And I said, I've been to 7. I don't need to go again.
Okay.
I'll watch it on TV. Play golf during the day. That's what I want to do.
Excuse me, and I have been watching you on TV, so you have done it all. You are well known in Gainesville and Alachua County.
Well, I've been very lucky. I
Blessed. Blessed.
Very blessed. I mean, I am really blessed because for me to be able to do what I did, and especially to do it at the time when Spurrier was here, and then the time when Urban was here, and to go through those positive and moments and incredible wins and incredible people, the people I met along the way. You know, I'm still friends with so many of the guys from those two teams, and you know, still have their cell phones and get them on my podcast and stuff. But they're so even though Florida's been struggling, I've always kind of fallen back on that. I got to live through the glory days, and that's a good part. Yeah.
And I remember you. I remember the name. I have been following you, forever, because you just got my attention, and I like what you were doing, informing us. Okay. Well,
that's the thing. There's 2 ways to, or there's 100 ways to write a column, right? But there's a funny way. There's this. There's that. I tried to let people know stuff they didn't already know. That was my main goal, and then try to have some funny lines too, and observations. But mainly, I just wanted to say, hey guys, this is what happened, and this is what is going to happen. In fact, I've got a thing for my podcast today, and I'll give it to you right now. The 3 teams Florida's lost to this year, their record is 19-2. So think about that. That there's a reason why they maybe lost those games, because those teams are really good. We may not have thought Miami was going to be great. We may not have thought Texas A&M was going to be great. But they're great. They're really good teams. They're 2 of the top teams. The teams they've beaten are 10-16. Those teams have all had trouble. UCF has lost 4 in a row. You know, so. But the bottom line is that's what you need to do. You need to beat the teams you're supposed to beat, and then try to steal some wins here and there.
Perfect. Okay, that's about time for our first half. We are going to take a quick break, and we will be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Meldon Law has been serving personal injury victims since 1971. In those days, Jeffrey Meldon's presence as an attorney in the music scene dubbed him with the nickname the Hippie Attorney. And although times have changed, 2 things haven't. Our commitment to bettering our community by helping the injured.
Albert, are you ready to go to the game?
And our love for the Florida Gators.
If you bleed orange and blue, Meldon Law is the firm for you.
I am Black History.
I am Rosewood Black History. I am Florida and America's Black History, and you are too.
January 1st, 1923, the KKK insurrectionists attacked Rosewood, killing 5, burning it down.
Because a white woman lied and cried, a black man assaulted me. Rosewood redevelopment is on its way.
Want to help? Visit rosewoodflorida.com.
Welcome back to Queen Lizzie Podcast, brought to you weekly from the Steve Spurrier Podcast Room at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. We are here with Pat Dooley. The Queen Lizzie Podcast is brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union, live from the Meldon Law Studios at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. And first of all, what I want to do right now while we're talking about this great podcast room, I want to remind you all to support us. And when I say us, I'm talking about the Steve Spurrier Gridiron Grill. Each Sunday morning and Saturday morning, on the weekend, let's say, there is a weekend brunch, the best in town.
Yes. It is excellent.
Excellent. Come out and support them.
We came out and supported them Friday night. And we had a good time out here, so it's a great place. It was packed too. Really? It's amazing. Yeah, I wondered if after a year it would kind of lose, because it's a museum, as you know, as you walk around. And I thought maybe it would lose a little of its cachet, but
no.
Friday night they were trying to get like the AD from Kentucky and in here, and they were like, "We got no room." Sorry.
I know. I drove around. I went to the parade.
Yeah.
I was in the parade, and I said, "Let me stop by," and that's exactly what I did. Stopped by, drove by, went home. There was no place to park.
No, it was amazing. But that is a good sign. In fact, I think Freddie was telling me they're the number 1 celebrity restaurant in the country.
Is that
in terms
right?
of volume, in terms of customers and income. So that's I guess you're beating Mickey Mantle's restaurant.
I know it.
I've been to Mickey Mantle's restaurant.
Right, and they're just great people to work with.
Yeah.
I respect them to the utmost, and they got good friends. One friend is sponsoring for my birthday. He's doing a sponsorship. I can't
Really?
tell how many tickets he brought, but he gave me permission to bring the senior citizens from my church.
Oh,
Because
that's nice.
it is nice. They have never seen any place like this. So it's going to be like Broadway for them.
It's funny. My oldest daughter lives in L.A. And so she was here on Christmas, and I said, "Hey, let's go to Spurrier's. I want to show it to you." And she was like, "Yeah, that'd be fun." So we'll go there, have a drink. So we come in, and I show her around and everything, and she's like, "There's nothing like this in Los Angeles."
Okay.
I mean, there is nothing as spectacular as
Exactly.
this. So I'm like, "Yeah, it is a pretty amazing place."
Yes, the oldest person coming is 88. He's
Oh.
a farmer, lived on a farm all of his life. He is going to have a ball.
Yeah,
okay?
absolutely.
Yeah, they're coming from the church. And I think that's awesome.
That is
Give
awesome,
them an
yeah.
opportunity to experience whatever real life or whatever. I hope and in fact, I know they're going to enjoy.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, and my preacher is going to be here, Reverend Gregory DeBose. Hello, Reverend Gregory DeBose. And and he supports me, the ministers support me, the churches, organizations. When I say support me, it's not about me, okay? It's about Rosewood and the history, but they support the foundation, and we are building a museum.
Yeah, I know. I was going to ask you to talk about that, the museum that's coming up, because
Yes.
this is what Wednesday night is for, right? It's to help
Exactly.
raise money for that.
Exactly, and you're going to be there. And what we have done are, what's the name? Homie, come on. Kimberly Horn.
Okay.
Okay, the engineers are working and designing the museum. And they have done 6 renderings that we are going to bring here. And we're going to share and raise funds, money. Okay.
Did they get to vote on it? On which one to pick?
Not really. I think they're going to use all of, you mean the people?
Yeah, the
Oh,
people.
yes. But we're going to use I don't know how we're going to use it. We are going to present it.
Right.
6 different renderings. And what it is, it's the photos of the landscape.
Right,
And I may
right.
not be saying it right, but one of my friends, the board member, the chair of the board, what's his name? Jordan Marlowe, is going to be here to present
okay.
and market and sell. He and Freddie and
Yeah.
anybody else who wants to help market. Yes, that's what we're
Yeah.
going to do.
That's
We've
great.
got to get the museum built, and it's being built.
It's very important.
Yes, on property that we have owned since 1897 in Archer. But what is most important, I'm trying to, and we're trying to galvanize, the wrong word, but anyway, we're trying to get together the children so that they can take charge and take it to the next level.
Absolutely.
And following this, I have an interview with a college student, and she is excited about it. And this is what we need. And for 42 years, I have researched Rosewood, and I have spoken free at the University of Florida 29 times to students and professors that say, hey, our kids, we need to hear about the Rosewood history. And so I do it well. As I said, it's painful, but it's beneficial.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. You got to get that done. You got to. It's funny. I don't know. Funny is not the right word. It's ironic. That's not even the right word. It's coincidental that I think about that with my dad. My dad passed away about 4 years ago, and we have a golf tournament, his name, every year, and I wanted to stop doing it. I was just tired of doing it, and he was gone, and I go, you know what? You got to keep his name alive, and that's what you're doing. You're keeping Rosewood alive.
Yes.
And you've got it. That's the thing you've got to do is somebody has to pick it up.
Yes.
Because you're not going to be here forever.
Exactly.
Any more than I am. You'll probably outlive me, but
I don't know. Let's don't go there. We're both going to be here forever.
Yes.
We got a job to do.
That's right. Exactly. We do.
And we're doing it quite well.
Yes.
With your help.
Hopefully you continue to do it well, and it's pretty amazing what you're doing, and I appreciate it. That's for sure.
Same for you. It's amazing what you are doing. I appreciate it. That's why you're here. Because I told somebody, hey, I would like to interview, you. And I am just honored. It
was an interesting life when I was a columnist and the Gators were winning all those games, because you would go cover an SEC or national championship game, and you go there for a week, stay at a luxury hotel. They would give you every meal. It would be unbelievable. Sometimes they'd have 2 hospitality rooms. They would get anything you wanted. You wanted a beer, you wanted a drink, you wanted just sodas. They had them there for you. They gave you all this stuff. And then they let you go cover a national championship game. And I'm like, what a grind. I don't know how I can do this.
Yes. But you did it. And because of what you have done, that's why you're here today talking. And you're just still making history. We appreciate you're a historian. You're history. Walking history.
I do know a lot about. I can't remember my wife's birthday, but I can tell you the score of my first game. So, 22-3, 1962. Larry Libator was quarterback.
Really, you played football too?
I played for a while, yeah. Okay. But then I hurt my knee my freshman year in high school, and I started playing more golf. Yes. And we actually started the St. Augustine High golf team. We pushed for it, and finally, I think it was our junior year, they decided to let us have it, and then and we told them, we said, we got balls, we got clubs, all you need to do is have somebody in a van take us where we got to go play. That's it. And so they finally agreed to it. So I think they may have regretted it after 2 years because we weren't very good.
Well, you have to start somewhere.
Yep, you do.
And if it wasn't good, then you had to end somewhere.
We did end somewhere. We ended in last place, I think, but that's all right.
But it was fun. You enjoyed it.
Blast.
Yeah. And I just want to get back to the birthday party. I can't ask you all to buy any tickets. We're sold out. But we want you to continue to visit my website, rosewoodflorida.com. Continue to make donations to help build the museum that we are working on. We are going to put the renderings, we're going to place them on the website so that you can visit and select. And we may, don't know, do a brick sale.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yes, if someone wants to buy a brick.
Yeah.
Yes, and we got, when they see the renderings, they are going to see the walls where they can put the brick or on the ground. It does not matter. We have lots of property. And hopefully we are going to resurrect the town of Rosewood by building the shotgun houses that the people lived in Rosewood. Some people want us to think they were 2-story houses.
Right.
Not true, and I don't get involved in that.
I've seen them in St. Augustine because a lot of them are still up now. They're tearing them down now.
Exactly.
But they've been up for a long time, and believe me, there's no 2-story houses. But
I know.
Why were they called shotgun huts?
Because you can stand on the back porch and shoot. Okay, you're gone straight through the house without hitting anything because the rooms were on the side. But you could walk straight through like a shotgun. And that's why they are called shotgun houses.
I've learned something today that's important. You want to learn something every day, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that will let people know how smart you are when you learn something.
That's right. Well, I can tell you why they have shotgun houses.
Because I grew up in a shotgun house. And
Really?
Yes. I did a retractable that I'm bringing Wednesday night. And I have a picture of the shotgun house on this retractable. Now, we didn't have an indoor toilet. We had outhouses, we called
How
them.
many people were living in this house?
In my house?
Yeah.
My child? 6.
6. And how many bedrooms?
3.
So it was 2 to a bed, 2 to a
Yes.
bedroom.
My sister and I, my brother and my brothers, and then mom and dad.
Okay.
And for many years, because my aunt was involved in Rosewood, she was not allowed to talk. She was followed by the conspirators, and she would hide out at our house. And in an effort to intimidate us and to keep us from talking, late at night we would hear traffic coming up to our house, and we lived at a dead end. And we would sometimes be sitting there as a family reading stories. My mom would tell us stories, which was more interesting than reading a story. And Dad, and listening to Ernest Tubb.
Ernest Tubb, yeah.
Ernest Tubb and Amos and Andy. And we hear a truck, and we could see the lights, the car lights, because you could see through our house. And Dad would yell, "Go to bed!" And all of us would run, jump into bed, because we knew they were coming to harass us. So I grew up,
Jeez.
yes, in those days.
That's rough, man.
It is.
That's
it is.
rough.
And I carry that with me.
Oh, sure you do.
Okay, I carry that today. And sometimes I watch television. I see the same thing that I grew up.
Yep.
Yes, but it doesn't stop me from doing what needs to be done.
You just got to keep going forward, right?
Keep going.
That's it.
And as I said, people like you, and I can't give Steve Spurrier, Freddie Weeby, Jerry Benton, and Jeffrey Meldon, can't give you all enough praise and thanks for what you all have done and are doing.
We're here for you. Believe me, we are here for
I
you.
can feel the energy, so thank you very, very much. Any closing remarks?
Well, for a week, we can just not have to worry about the Gators because it's a bye week this week. So I think 2 bye weeks in 1 year is really good.
Yes.
Because then you can just say, hey, we can't lose this week.
Yes. Okay. I am continuously humbled, honored, and blessed to meet people daily and invite them to join in peace building, healing, and reconciliation through learning about the history of Rosewood. That will wrap up today's episode. I am Queen Lizzie until the next time. This is my Rosewood story, and I'm sticking to it. Goodbye.